Hi there, Virgo. Welcome to your November reading. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for being patient. These are out a little bit later than usual, but as you know, I was recovering from some health setbacks last month. I am feeling much better, however, in mind, body, and spirit, and I owe a lot of that to all of the love and support I received from you, so thank you so much. Just a reminder, if you're brand new, you can always use these monthly videos for your sun sign, your rising, as well as your moon. And also a reminder that everything you see here is viewer supported. So if you really like it and you want to give back, I do offer a way to do so. I'll put some info right at the bottom. You can join me on Patreon, or you can do a donation through my website. Either way will make a difference, helps me buy supplies, and it also helps me set up the time that's necessary for all of these readings. Now, let's get into the format just in case you're brand new, and if that's the case, I just want to extend a welcome and extra thanks for everybody who's been coming back from month to month. But for the new folks, my organization is as such. I'll start with channeled information, look at a Celtic cross for the month, and then I expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. For the channeled message, I like to start by selecting a deck that I'll be using and then meditating and seeing what comes through. For you, there was this sense of opening or unfolding. I actually saw a flower opening up. And when I was looking at this, the following message came through. I said, this is the time to step into your power. And by doing that, you really want to step into your truth because they're kind of one and the same. I wrote down, be who you want to be and let others support you and see you for who you are. If I were to kind of associate this with a tarot card, it would be the Star. Because I really like that card. There's no artifice in it. You'll notice that the main character, typically personified by a woman, there's no clothing. And if you look at ancient mythology, that is equivalent to divinity, because when you are completely without artifice, there's no need to hide, no need to cloak. And when it comes to your energy, when it comes to your personality, that's what the symbolism is really embracing there, is to be open, to be true, and to allow others to appreciate you for who you are. Sometimes we wonder why things aren't working out, but if we don't let people in and if we aren't true to our own desires and our own sort of leanings when it comes to our soul and our ambitions, then it's hard for others to appreciate it and to truly support us. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the cards. And at this point, I like to remain quiet because, like you, I want to see where the cards lay, what kind of information comes through, and all of that. So I'm going to give this a good shuffle, and I'll be right back with you after all of the cards are laid out. And we got the Star there at the end, which is great. Okay, one more card that I like to add to this spread. I call this the Catalyst. And for me, the Catalyst is symbolic of how everything is sort of tied together. What is the thread that's sort of weaving itself through the month? It's also a way to understand how to maximize the positive energy. Okay, so we'll begin with the Catalyst. The catalyst this month is illusion, and it's about breaking through that illusion that I was talking about earlier. When we are born, I think we enter the planet without a mask, and as we age and as we sort of take on all of the cultural lenses that we're given from our family, the societal lenses that we learn as we travel the world, and also just part of human nature is to want to fit in. We start to build up all of these layers, and we have different facets, different faces that we show to the world. Once you kind of get towards the end of your life, you realize you don't need to worry so much, and we kind of go backwards and then decide to peel back the onion skin. So I'm trying to save you some time right now and say you never really need to pull up all of these sort of lenses, or if you want to see them as blankets or layers of an onion skin. It's so much stronger when you just are who you are. So this month, I challenge you to break down your own illusions about yourself and allow people to see you without them, and also to trust your intuition to see past illusions that others may be trying to put up to either block you, to change your point of view, etc. So this is a month to really get real, to be true, and to hone in on your intuition. As we look at each card here at the center, let's kind of see what the month has to say. Your first card is one of distance. We have the Six of Swords, which can indicate for some of you, practically speaking, that this might be a month of travel. There might be a lot of time spent between places. This is also saying that it's important for you to create space in your life. So often we view things like meditation or taking time to just be with ourselves without distraction as almost homework or a task. I want you to see it as a reward. You spend so much energy trying to please people around you. It could be a lover, it could be your family, it could be a teacher, it could be a boss, whatever. We have so many different people that we're trying to make happy. I want to make sure that when it's all said and done, you have some time to really decompress and think, are you happy? Because what's most important on this planet really is, are you gathering the lessons you need? Are you learning from them? Are you getting closer to what your soul's path is? And this is a card of journeying. And so I want you to make sure that the path feels right. And if you look here in the corner, we see sort of the wind. This to me is sort of the cosmos pushing you in the right direction. You may get a nudge this month that either delays you or puts you on another path. If it feels right and if things are lining up, honor that and realize that you're actually getting a little bit of guidance. When I look at what is altering this, we have a really interesting illustration here for the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is a card that comes through sometimes when we're challenged to see the blessings or the bright side of things. And this card is kind of illustrating someone that's walking on, it's not quite broken yet, but like walking on broken glass or tiptoeing around, worrying a lot more about others than themselves. So what I'd like you to do this month is to shift the lens back to you and have a sort of internal gut check and think, why is it that it's challenging for me to be here? And here could be anything. It could be a relationship, a job, or just a life situation. If it's simply because you haven't taken time to just sort of see the positives, well, take that time to meditate, appreciate what's going well and what you need to work on. But if it's something bigger, if you're kind of just going through the motions and realize, I'm just not happy, period, then this is a chance for you to start to make a decision. You have some really interesting cards. I'm actually going to turn the camera down just for a second so you can see what's above and below the center cards. In the deep past, we have the World, and it's reversed, and in the crowning position, we have Judgment. And these indicate a life change that is about to happen. Likewise, in your outcome, we have the Star reversed, which is everything that I was talking about in the channeled information being true to you. So I feel like some of you might be at a nexus in your life where you're going to decide, I have to let go of this and I have to embrace this. And then people around you are either going to applaud and champion you or perhaps walk away because they don't understand this new version of you or this truer version of you, because it may not be a new version, it might just be an unveiling or a revealing. So let's dig into this a little bit deeper. The World card in reverse. For some of you, you might have already gone through a physical or a metaphysical transformation where you're in a different situation or you just feel and act differently because you've changed or your environment has changed. So this is a significant shift. It can sometimes be a loss in your life. I mention that because Judgment is a death and rebirth card. And whatever you've gone through, it's changed you for the better. Through that sense of losing or gaining something after a period of struggle, you're stronger and you no longer view the world in the same way that you did before. What I like is it seems like you've done a lot of work in building a great network around you. The Ten of Cups shows strength in friendships, alliances, and for some of you, just feeling a little bit more at home. This could be being at home with yourself or physically feeling more comfortable in the space that you exist. Whatever's going on, it feels like the work that you've done on yourself is really solid. Now the next step for you is to not overthink it. We have here the Knight of Swords in reverse, and what happens sometimes with this, this is less about being in your head, it's more about the dialogue, that the types of words that you might be associating with it. So I want you to I'm challenging you to change the language over how you view yourself. So, for instance, maybe there was a change in your working situation, and you maybe felt very connected to that. Instead of feeling like you lost something, feel like you have an opportunity now to create something new. This goes the same with whether it's a relationship, a job, a living situation. Sometimes we give too much power to the status or the sort of the associations that we have when we're in those situations. The truth is the power is within, and those are trappings. They're no different than a shirt that I'm wearing. So just feel like you're changing your shirt, if you will, but you are who you are, and maybe you're even stronger and you're going to show off who you are in a different way. So use better labels for yourself and understand that your thoughts absolutely reflect and also attract things in your life. So what you put out there, people pick up on, and also what you put out there attracts either things that support that or that, and sometimes they're going to try to test what you're thinking. So if you feel insecurities, you'll have situations that come through to test those insecurities. If you feel positive energy, opportunities will come your way that will allow you to embark on that path as well. So aim towards the positive. It's a lot easier and a lot more fun than the negative. Okay, so as we look at this month and your soul, we have the Seven of Swords. This always challenges you to be stronger than the drama that's around you. And sometimes you have to be the one that steps up and avoid some of the gossip, some of the lower frequency energy that might be going on. So if there's anyone in your life that's kind of showing shady tendencies, or if you're in a situation where people might be talking about others, the best thing to do is to extricate, to remove yourself from that situation and just let those people do what they're doing. If they come in and try to bring you into it, you could say, I don't feel comfortable. Or you could just be outright direct and say, this isn't appropriate and I don't want to be a part of it. Because the Knight of Swords is okay in this situation to just directly shut something down, particularly if it has to do with hurting someone, or if it's gossip, or if it's somehow just inappropriate. So stand up for yourself or for someone else if it feels right, and start to push the energy instead on nurturing. Your environment is the Empress. I see this as a two-sided card. One, you're going to have opportunities to mentor and to champion other people. And you may also find that there's someone in your corner that wants to do the same for you. Some of you may be thinking of beginning a new project or a family. For me, the Empress is absolutely a quintessential card for maternal energy, for fertility, for nurturing, and for bringing things to fruition. That's your environment this month, to nurture, to be nurtured, to have things come to fruition. So start new things. It's a great time to put your energy into projects, whether, like I said, it's work or maybe a family. As we look at one of your challenges this month, this is in Hopes, Fears, Opportunities, we have the Magician card in reverse. I love Magician cards because they always have to do with manifestation. But with the reversal, there sometimes is a tendency to overextend, to have too many pots on the stove boiling at the same time. For those of you that might be struggling in the past with issues of addiction or ADHD, or just kind of picking up something and not being able to finish it, this card is showing a tendency to have those things resurface. But it's only in the sort of the fear space. It doesn't have to manifest. The way to kind of avoid that is to stick to what really motivates you. Don't let yourself, you can just say no. If you look at your life and you're overextended, say no to some of your obligations, delegate. And if there are things that are happening where it just doesn't feel authentic, the Star card is really associated with everything that I talked about at the beginning. Stepping into your truth. We talked about what it meant to have no artifice, and that's what this card is about. When you allow people to truly see who you are and you're comfortable in your skin, there's no holding you back. That's really when you look at public figures and successful people in history. They're very comfortable in their skin and they align themselves more to the purpose than the character that they're creating. So be who you are. Don't try to sort of like create this celebrity or this version of yourself, because more often than not, your vulnerability, your flaws, and your ability to be comfortable with all of that and to embrace your own ascension and your own higher path. That's what pulls people in. It's authenticity at the end of the day is what I'm getting at. So this is your month to be authentic. And for many of you to make a shift, a necessary shift, a move, a breakup, or for some of you even a marriage or some sort of a partnership. But this is a big breakup, shake-up, make-up month. There's going to be a lot of changes for you, and I think all for the better. It's a challenge for you to step into that decision that you know you need to make. Your crowning card is judgment, so that's the big thing. It all is sitting in your court, and it's when you feel like doing it. But what's waiting at the other end is beautiful. So I hope that you're ready, and I hope you take that leap of faith for yourself. Let's go ahead now and expand the forecast. We'll begin with your health card. Health is mind, body, and spirit. So let's give the cards a shuffle and see what the message is in respect to your health. This month, your health message is to really seek the truth. So for some of you, this is about being honest with yourself. It could also be about getting a second opinion. If you feel like there's something more to what's going on in your health than either a professional has illustrated or that you're able to find on your own, get a second opinion. And this is also for many of you about going deeper into your intuition as I look at this card. So dig deeper wherever you're at in your sort of journey of health, and pay a lot of attention to also mental and spiritual health this month. Let's look now at your wealth card and see what's coming through for money, for career, and also just for your relationship with self-worth. Since I strongly believe that self-worth is net worth, the two of them feed into one another. So this month for wealth, we have the Desert Prince. It says survival and false promises. Whenever I see this, there is a general message for you to know that abundance is within reach. If you start to think to yourself, I can't have this, or it's not going to happen, you start to basically, it's like these candles that I have behind me. It's almost like you go and blow it out. You don't allow it to actually manifest. So I want you to believe that you can create things. And the other thing is to not, we talked about overextending yourself. Don't make promises that you can't keep. If other people aren't holding up to their end of the bargain, call them into your light of truth and just say, hey, we talked about this. You said you were going to come through. Where is it? And just really, unfortunately, sometimes you have to put people on the spot because there may be situations in your life where people are doing things and until they're checked, it will continue. So this is a month where it's important for, in matters of money, for you to be honest and for others to be honest and accountable. So hold yourself and others to the same level of accountability, and that's going to enable you to be the most successful. Let's go ahead now and take a look at love. Remembering, of course, that love is not just romantic relationships, but how you communicate with all people in your life. And we have a card here that shows that it's important to break down the walls of it's almost like that song Titanium by Sia, where she feels like she's built up this titanium shield and she can, take anything and bounce it back. So when I see immunity, I want you to make sure that, one, you're practicing good grounding and protection, but that you don't go so far to the extreme that you don't let anybody in. As an intuitive, when I work with others, I have to allow some energy to go back and forth or I can't read. And as a human being on the planet, we also have to do the same thing. You can't be in a relationship, you can't walk across this planet and not have your heart connect to others. If you do, then you're not truly experiencing the human condition. So what I want you to do is protect yourself, but don't cut yourself off this month. So a lot of these messages have two sides, and I think that that's important to understand the balance between the two, and I think that's the message here when it comes to love. Protect yourself, but don't cut yourself off. Let's look at your destiny message, knowing that destiny is your chance to engage with free will. It's a GPS of sorts. If you like where you're headed, stay on the path. If you don't, there'll be a message here that will help you. Either way, this is going to help you fine-tune where you're at and where you're going. Your message for destiny this month is remembering that you are safe. We just talked about this idea of building a titanium shield around you. This is saying that if you overprotect yourself, or if you are afraid that things can get in, then oddly enough, they can get in. So I just want you to work on the mantra this month. I am safe, I am protected, and you can call in Archangel Michael. I'm using a deck that is specifically centered around Michael. So a great angel to meditate on, one that appears throughout almost all religious texts, so it's almost a fail-safe angel to bring into your meditation practice. The card was reversed, so I want you to remember that negative thoughts kind of attract either challenging or negative situations. So positive thoughts will do the inverse. Think to yourself, if you can't think I am protected, you can say, I'm ready to be protected, or I'm calling in protection. Use one variant of those sort of mantras and use it throughout the month, and that's going to bring protection, and it becomes a truth. Have you ever noticed that if you ever listen to a song and it sticks in your head, the first time you may hate it, but after like the 10th or the 20th or the 100th listen, you're singing along to it in the elevator because it becomes normal to you. The same thing happens when you use a mantra or a repetitive phrase, like I am protected, I am worthy, I am ready to receive all these blessings, whatever it is. Pretty soon you start to believe, I am worthy, I am protected, good things are coming, and they happen because you believe it. So I want you to work that into your day-to-day routine and make that the record that is playing in your head, okay? Let's go ahead now and review everything, and then we'll wrap up this monthly reading. When I was channeling and tuning into your sign this month, the first thing that I saw was that idea of stepping into your truth, unfolding and revealing who you were. And then when we looked at the cards, we saw what I was associating with that, the star card, which is shining, letting people celebrate and accept you for who you are. Then when we looked at your catalyst this month, we saw the whole idea of breaking illusion, and also seeing through others' illusions in your life. Looking at each card and their position and their messages, here's what we have. Right at the center, a need to create some space, to make some space, to get outside of your routine so that you can integrate, analyze, appreciate what's going on, and to also sort of check in with why things may or may not be resonating, understanding that some of it may be simply because there's a decision that needs to be made, something that feels right. We've got Judgment, the World, and the Star. Really major arcana cards that are saying, it's your turn, it's your time, don't hold back. You've done a good job at creating a network of friends, of family, and colleagues that are there to support you. So as you decide to sort of step into your truth, I believe that you'll have the support that you need. Be real, be honest, be direct, especially if there's anything going on that seems a little bit shady or unsavory. It's important for you to stand up for yourself and for others. Nurture and be nurtured. Start projects, nurture the projects that you might be working on, and realize that the energy that you put into that will be fruitful. Also, for those of you thinking of starting a family, this is a good time to begin. Avoid distractions, avoid old cycles in your life that might be coming back. It's simply here to kind of test you and see if you're ready to move on. And then step into your truth. Turn this card right side up and shine and be that resplendent being that I know that you are, and maybe that you're afraid to show and shine to others. When we're looking at your expanded forecast, dig deeper when it comes to health. If there's something that's bothering you, you need to honor that intuition. A lot of times you can sense something before it physically manifests. Get a second opinion. Avoid restrictive thoughts. We don't want to be in a desert when it comes to your finance. Don't overcommit. Be real with your commitments, and if necessary, push back or delegate. And realize that, as I was saying earlier, thinking I am ready, I am willing to receive, that's going to be powerful. Protection is fine, but don't build up such a wall that you can't let people in. That could be something that's inhibiting your ability to find love and to be loved. Because it does feel like love wants to find you here when we're looking at these three cards: Empress, Magician, and Star. Magician is a card of attraction. Star is a card of finding someone that's of a high frequency. And the Empress is this nurturing energy. So there's a nurturing and high frequency energy that wants to find you or to connect with you. It might already be your partner that you have, but don't hold back. Allow that to come in. Finally, as we looked at the outcome here, we have you and your loved ones are safe. I want you to focus on feeling that that safety is something that is already there. If for some reason there's someone in need or that is not being protected or needs your help, this is about stepping in and helping them. Because with this Empress card and with these two cards that we saw, stepping up and really righting a wrong, some of you might have to be an advocate for someone and maybe have to sort of wake them up and say, this isn't okay, and I'm here to help you through it. So if that resonates, then embrace that. Overall, the big theme that I'm seeing this month is you have to make a decision. Many of you have already sort of gone through an internal transformation, and once you embrace the transformation, really positive things are on the horizon. That brings your monthly reading to a close. If there's ever anything that's going on in your life that you'd like to talk about, or you want some more tangible details about a very specific question about work or love or finance, feel free to reach out to me. If you look at right below the video, I have 3 links. The first link allows you to check rates and availability, so you can book an appointment if that makes sense. If you just like what you see here, I mentioned earlier that your donations absolutely help this channel. I can buy new cards, and more importantly, I can set aside time to do these readings because just like you, I have a day job. So if that works, then please feel free to give back. You can do that through Patreon or through my website, and $1 makes a big difference. Otherwise, a nice way to do it that doesn't involve any exchange of money but still helps me is to like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then join me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also have a newsletter, so I really encourage you to join me on all of those if you'd like. The third link below the video will allow you to connect to all of those. And finally, and most importantly, I like to just say thank you. Thank you for the work that you're doing on yourself, because month to month, that's why I show up. I really want to allow each of us to feel a sense of empowerment, to grow spiritually, and to be that light, that illumination that we're seeing here with this star card. Don't be afraid to be yourself. I think that's this last message that I want to leave you with. When you truly allow yourself to be who you are, there's no better feeling on the planet. We worry so much. We worry about acceptance. We worry about failure. Sometimes we worry about success. I just want you to be. Be you, be yourself, shine, and trust that that's enough. That's more than enough, actually. That's exactly why you came on the planet. To deny that is to deny your purpose, and it's to deny all of us around you the light and the love that we so desperately need in these times. So shine brightly, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your journey. Wishing you the best now and always. I'll see you again soon.